Oh, no intro, Chris?
You should be playing.
Nah, that's okay. That's okay.
Good.
This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to our first regular season show of Between the Ropes. Oh my God. Primetime Blitz. I saw Chris and just was thinking Between the Ropes. But it is Primetime Blitz week 1. I am Big B, the host, along with my counterpart, Crispy Bacon. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Week 1 is finally here. 2025 is finally here. I hope it's going to be a fun season.
I think it will be a fun season. Kitty corner to me with the messed up mop on his head. The Primus, Tim Hendricks, halfway around the world. How you doing, buddy?
Dude, I'm the one that just woke up, and yet you decided to bring up Between the Ropes. I'm good. I don't know how much this is true, but I don't know if this is breaking news or what. But I'm reading that Brett Favre came out being diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Really? Like just recently, or
just like within the last hour?
Huh.
That's news to me.
And speaking of news, and the guy wearing the Chicago Bears stuff there, it's the rookie. It's Kevin Cherry. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Yeah, doing good. So before we get into it, Kevin, you're the rookie. Give our fans a little background on who you like, what team. Of course, you're rooting for the Bears, it looks like, but give us a little background about yourself.
Well, I am 25. I was born in Pennsylvania, moved to Florida when I was about 10 years old, and then moved to Minnesota, graduated 2019. And now I'm just really into my sports. I love everything about it. I love statistics. I love just knowing back ball knowledge and all of that.
Okay. So going off of what Tim said, I see an Instagram post that posted a couple hours ago. Former Packer Hall of Fame quarterback who's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease last September says his systems are accelerating and has stiffness at his on his right side. So that's from an Instagram post I see. So with that being said, guys, so last week, Kevin, you weren't here, but you kind of talked about it backstage. Well, actually, first, let's go to the big trade news involving Chris's Dallas Cowboys trading Parsons to the Packers. So, Chris, down in Dallas, what's your thoughts?
I think it's mixed. I mean, a lot of people are thinking, glad the drama's over. He needed to be gone, but at the same time, looking on the field, fans and a lot of people are saying, well, he was probably your best player on defense, and I don't know. It's kind of mixed.
Okay. Tim, you kind of threw it out there as a hunch, through some rumors that he was going to be traded to Green Bay, or there were talks. What's your thought, Mister Magic Ball?
When Madden says they don't accept the trade, I think it's kind of a lopsided trade. I don't know who wins out on that. I think I might be a little crazy, but I think 2 firsts are a little heavy. But that's weighing it. Jerry Jones looks like a master dealer if he gets some that basically does a reverse freaking Herschel Walker again. And
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, this is Herschel Walker.
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that going. It's great if Kenny Clark can reduplicate everything that Micah Parsons does, but I don't see that happening. I think you and I were talking about earlier backstage and before our show this afternoon, was this afternoon for me, was that this only adds maybe a couple wins to Green Bay. But then again, it's the NFC North, and we're talking about a tight NFC North to begin with. It's just made it a little bit more tighter.
Yep. And speaking of that, myself and Kevin, we get twice a year. So Kevin, what do you think this does to Green Bay's defense and the outlook on the North?
Well, I have some pros and cons written here. A pro would be you're going to bolster that defense to a high caliber and become front runners. Makes your Super Bowl odds a little bit better by bolstering the defense. Cons, they're going to face some salary cap issues in the near future because with him and Love, they're combined $102 million a year.
Okay.
So I can see them, for sure having some salary cap issues here in the foresee future. But it does bolster the defense. Now the NFC North, those quarterbacks are going to have another big thing to worry about, especially the Lions when you lose, one of your best linemen retires. Chicago being notorious for having a, battle line. And then just the Vikings with, a fresh quarterback. It's just Green Bay, again, they just bolstered their defense and made it more high caliber.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'm glad we don't get to see him week 1. The Lions do, so we'll kind of see. We'll see how much work he puts in. I know there was speculation he might sit out the game, but I think he's getting a cortisone shot or something to make him play. Yeah. So, but we'll see what happens there. So let's get into our and just so you guys know, I posted on our chat. That was by I forgot who, or no, I'm sorry, J-Mac posted it. Fox Sports has ranked that trade the number 4th trade of all time. Of course, we're not going to talk about number 1 because
we won't not talk about number 2 and 3.
yeah, number 2 and 3. So, I'm actually kind of surprised that they don't have the Atlanta Falcons trading Favre to the Packers up there higher.
Well, the thing is, I think with the fact is the Favre to Atlanta trade, Favre from Atlanta trade was that he was still basically in his 2nd year, so he was an unknown commodity at the time. Where Dickerson and Falk were both pretty well known in the league. Parsons is well known in the league. Herschel Walker was known for what he was. Yeah, I think the Favre trade,
or even
wasn't that big.
Or even the McCaffrey one to San Fran a few years ago. Surprised that's ranked 8th. I thought that might have been a little bit higher. So, but anyways, let's get into our playoff predictions for the 2025-2026 season. So we'll start with the AFC wildcard side. Chris, what is your 4-5 matchup?
One second. I had it up. My AFC playoff matchup. There you go. You said it in a wild card round? Are we going
wild
round by
card round,
round? All right, my seven seed Bengals, seven seed Bengals will go up against number 2 Buffalo Bills, and I got the Bills winning that one.
Okay.
Number
Tim?
6 Dolphins.
Oh, wait. Okay, go ahead. Give us your whole wild card
No.
round. Yeah.
No, continue. Sorry.
All right, Tim. Your 2-7 matchup.
My 2-7. I've got the 7. I got the 7 seed Colts versus the 2 seed Ravens, with the Ravens winning that.
All right. The rookie, Kevin, your 7-2 matchup.
My 7-2 matchup, I have the Broncos taking on the New York Jets.
And who you got winning?
I have the Broncos taking them down.
All right. I got the Bengals at 7 versus the number 2 Bills. I got the Bills taking that one. So, Chris, back to you. You're 6-3.
My 6 seed team, Dolphins, will take on the 3 seed Chiefs, and the Chiefs will win that one.
Okay. Tim?
Yeah, I've got the 6 seed Broncos versus the 3 seed Texans, and I've got the Texans winning that one.
All right. And Kevin?
This is what seed again?
6 versus 3.
I have the Ravens taking on the Bills.
Okay. And you got who winning?
I have the Ravens taking the Bills down.
All right. I got the Dolphins at 6 versus the Ravens at 3. I got the Ravens winning that one. And Chris, winding out the wild card weekend on the AFC side, you're 4-5.
My 5th seed Broncos will take on the 4th seed Tennessee Titans. I got the Broncos winning that one.
Tim?
See, when we said we didn't hit you, when you said you did crazy things, and we've got bacon with the Titans making the playoffs. I've got the 5 seed Bengals versus the 4 seed Chargers, and I've got the 5 seed Bengals making it to the next round.
All right. And Kevin, you're 5-4.
Let me see here. Or get to it. Wild card round. 4 and 5. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right. And who's winning?
And I have the Chiefs taking them down.
Okay.
All right. I got Kansas City at 5 versus the Colts at 4. I got the Colts with the little upset there. So, all right. So we'll move to the AFC side. Tim, give us your 7-2 matchup.
My 7-2, I've got the 7 seed Rams versus the 2 seed Eagles, with the Eagles moving on to the divisional round.
All right. Chris?
So I got my 5 seed Broncos taking on the number 1 seed Ravens.
No, we're doing the AFC side.
Oh.
Or
NFC side. Okay.
NFC side.
Okay. On the
7-2.
NFC side, the 7 seed Rams will take on the number 2 team Eagles, and I got the Eagles winning that one.
All right. Kevin, your 7-2 matchup on the NFC side.
My 7 is the Seattle Seahawks, and my 2 are the Chicago Bears, and I have the Bears taking down Seattle.
All right. I got the Packers at 7 versus the Cowboys at 2. Cowboys winning that one. So, Tim, back to you at your 6-3.
My 6-3, I got the 6 seed Vikings taking on the 3 seed 49ers, and I've got the 49ers winning.
Of course you do. Kevin. Kevin, who you got 6-3?
I got the 6-seeded Atlanta Falcons taking on the 3-seeded Carolina Panthers, and I have the 6-seed Atlanta Falcons taking them down.
Ooh, big 6-3 upset. All right, Chris, you're 6-3.
All right, my 6 seed Packers are going to go up against the 3 seed Buccaneers, and I got the Packers winning that one.
All right, I got the Eagles at the 6 seed versus the Niners at the 3 seed. I do have the Eagles with the upset there. So, Tim, wrapping up the wild card round for the NFC, 5-4.
Of course you do. I I've got I've got the 5 seed Packers taking on the fourth seed Buccaneers, basically bacon, but I just moved them up one. And I've got the Packers winning that game.
All right, Kevin, what do you got?
I have the 5-seeded Packers taking on the 4-seeded Los Angeles Rams, and I have the Packers taking them down.
All right, Chris.
I got the 5-seed Vikings taking on the 4-seed 49ers. I'm sorry, Big B. 49ers winning that one.
Ah, jeez. I got the Lions at the 5 seed. I got the Falcons at the 4 seed. I got I got Detroit sneaking away with the upset there. So back to the NFC side, the divisional round. Kevin, we'll start with you. Your first divisional matchup on the AFC side.
We're doing AFC?
Yep, AFC.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the 5-seeded Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 2-seeded Denver Broncos, and I have the Kansas City Chiefs taking them down.
All right, Chris.
I got the 5-seed Broncos taking on the Ravens, and I got the 1-seed Ravens, and I got the Ravens.
All right, Tim.
I've got the 5 seed Bengals taking on the 1 seed Bills, and I got the Bills winning.
All right, I got the 5 seed Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 1 seed Denver Broncos with the Denver Broncos winning. Kevin, back to you. Your second matchup on the AFC side.
I have the upset of a century here. I got the 6-seeded Ravens taking on the 1-seeded Bengals, and I have the Ravens taking them down.
Wow, okay. Chris.
Number 3-seed Chiefs taking on the 2-seed Bills. Sorry, Josh Allen. I don't think things are going to work out for you this year. I got the Chiefs winning.
Ooh. Tim.
There's some hatred here. Good thing I'm not a fan either one of those teams. I've got the 3 seed Texans versus the number 2 seed Baltimore Ravens, and I've got the Ravens moving on.
All right, I got Ravens at the 3 seed versus the Bills at the 2 seed. I'm going Josh Allen. It's got to be close. Josh Allen advances. So back to the NFC side, I'll start. I have the number 6 Philadelphia Eagles facing the number 1 seed Minnesota Vikings. I have the Vikings squeaking it out there and moving on. Chris.
We're doing on the NFC side.
NFC side, yep.
All right, I got the 7-seed Rams taking on the 1-seed Lions, and I got the Lions winning that one.
All right, Tim.
I was expecting to say he's got the upset of the century. I've got the 5 seed Packers versus the 1 seed Lions, with the Lions moving on.
All right, Kev.
I have the 5-seeded Packers taking on my boys, the number 2 seed Chicago Bears. A great NFC matchup there. But unfortunately, I have to take the G-Men to win that one.
You took who in that one?
I took the G-Men.
Oh, G-Men. Okay. All right.
Green Bay.
You took the Packers in that one.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Back to me. I got the number 5 seeded Lions taking on the number 2 seeded Dallas Cowboys. I got the Lions with the upset there in Jerryville. So, Chris.
All right, my 6-seed Packers will take on the 2nd-seeded Eagles. Eagles win that one. I don't want to.
All right, Timmy.
Really, you said to me. Okay, cool. I've got the 2-seeded Eagles versus the 3-seeded 49ers, with the Eagles beating the Niners.
All right. Kevin.
I have the 6-seeded Atlanta Falcons taking on the 1-seed Philadelphia Eagles, and I have the Eagles advancing.
All right. So let's get to the division game. AFC side, Chris. Who's going to the Super Bowl on the AFC side?
Chiefs versus the Ravens. I got the Chiefs.
Tim?
I've got the Ravens versus the Bills, and guess what? Unlike Bacon, who we're going to have a lot of arguments this week, I've got Josh Allen going to the Super Bowl.
All right,
Ooh.
Kevin.
I have the Ravens taking on the Chiefs, and I have the Ravens going to the Super Bowl.
All right, I got the Bills versus the Broncos. I got the Bills going to the Super Bowl. So, NFC side, Tim?
I'm guessing I know who Brandon's got in the Super Bowl. But then again, we did a show on it, so I already know. So I already got the spoilers. I've got the Eagles versus the Lions, and I've got the Lions going to the Super Bowl.
Kevin.
I have the Cheeseheads taking on the Eagles, and I have the Eagles going to the Super Bowl.
All right, Chris.
I also got the Eagles versus Lions, but the Eagles go to the Super Bowl.
I had the Lions versus the Vikes. At home, I got the Vikings going to the Super Bowl. So, Kevin, who's your Super Bowl winner?
I have the Eagles taking on the Ravens, and I have the Ravens finally taking her home.
For the third time.
Chris?
I got the Chiefs, actually.
All right, Tim?
I've got the Lions versus the Buffalo Bills. The Lions haven't paid their dues and lost 4 Super Bowls in a row, so they still have to do that. I've got Josh Allen and the Bills winning the Super Bowl.
I got the Super Bowl I've been waiting for, 0-4 versus 0-4, Bills versus the Vikings. My luck, this game will go on forever. It will never end. But I got the Vikings finally bringing it home. But I think that would be an amazing Super Bowl. So.
Falls count anywhere. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So we got some comments rolling in. Hey, our good friend Tim, Jeremy Fendi, popping in. Jeremy, I hope you and the family are doing good. Hope your daughter's doing good. So then we got Tim's brother Ryan. Of course, he's booing everything. We got our good man J-Mac. He's picking the Bills. Ryan's picking the Bills. J-Mac is Lions versus the Commanders would be a good matchup. Lions-Bills Super Bowl is J-Mac's pick. So, all right. So let's get into our second topic of the day. We're going to throw the rookie into the mix right away. He's going to give us our one tough topic tough question for week 1.
All right. So after, looking at some questions that I had written down, I decided to go with, is Cam Ward the guy? Can he do enough to make them a playoff material for the foreseeable future?
All right. Tim, what's your thoughts on that?
I think if the Tennessee Titans do what the Washington Commanders did with Jaden Daniels, I think Cam Ward is that quarterback. From everything that I've heard, that Cam Ward is everything they've expected and more. I think the thing is he's playing in the AFC South, which could in the long run become a difficult division to play in. But then again, it's also become a wide open one. I think he could take them to the playoffs within 5 years. I think he's got the talent. They just put everything around him like they can. I think Cam Ward can honestly become that face of the franchise at quarterback that they were looking for since, and I'm going to say it's Steve McNair.
Oh, yeah. Chris, what's your thought? Is Cam Ward finally the guy in Tennessee? Chris
is taking a nap.
All right. So I'll go until Chris gets back. A little technical there. I'm with Tim. I think if they take a little playbook blueprint out of Green Bay and what Commanders did with Daniels and what Green Bay done in their quarterback room, Cam Ward could be the guy. Give him time to learn the system. Don't throw him out there week 1. And I think he would be. I think he'll be going there. I think they jumped the gun. With Levis. Yeah. Today's game is more or less. If you're drafting a quarterback, they're playing week 1 unless you got a stud sitting there. So we'll see. But I think if they do the blueprint and let him sit for a little bit and let him learn, I think he'll be fine. So, Kat, what's your answer?
Well, I'm a huge Miami Hurricanes fan, so I loved Cam Ward when he played there in Miami. I think this guy has just, grew over time. He went from, being nothing to something when he went to Miami, and just proving that he can be the guy, I think is definitely an understatement here. I think if the Titans could maybe get them an extra weapon or two, I think they'd be, in perfect shape to become playoff contenders.
All right, good question there. Good first crack at that one tough topic. So next, while Chris is gone, Tim, let's do your prime five first. We'll get Chris's history lesson when he comes back. So.
All right, since you thought you were going to snipe me this morning by picking my prime five, I'm gonna tell you didn't get me like I told you before. There have been a number of teams that have been to the Super Bowl or haven't won a Super Bowl. That includes teams that haven't been to the Super Bowl. So I've decided to go with the 5 teams that are more likely, that haven't won the Super Bowl or played in the Super Bowl, that is going to make the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
So my number 5 is a young team. All my teams are making the playoffs. I have predicted to make the playoffs. So, but it's a young and up and coming team. My number 5 is a young and up and coming team who started to make strides the right way, picking up a good quarterback. They're a new face of the franchise since Watson. I've got the Houston Texans as my number 5. My number 4, you kind of alluded to it because they're 0-4 in the Super Bowl. You've got them winning the Super Bowl. That's a little bit of a homer pick, I think, but that's cool. My number 4 is the Minnesota Vikings. My number 3, they have been to 3 Super Bowls. 2 of them were unlucky enough to be against the San Francisco 49ers during the Rice, Montana years, and we all saw how that worked out for them. I got number 3 is Cincinnati Bengals. My number 2 is a team who's never been to the Super Bowl, has won an NFL championship, but that was before the Super Bowl era. I've got the Detroit Lions at number 2, and then pretty much self-explanatory with the teams that I've picked for the win the Super Bowl or to play in the Super Bowl. I've got the Buffalo Bills at number 1.
Yeah, I think a lot of experts are thinking Buffalo, but that's a good list. We're getting a full house here. We're running the 3-wide set with Mess Around now here. Mess Around, how you doing, buddy? Mess Around, how you doing? I think Mess Around's having a little technical issues there.
Good. It's kind of
I can't hear Mess Around.
maybe.
All right. So that's why I was just in time. Chris still looks like he's having some issues. That's right. We can't hear you, bud.
I'm here.
All right. So, Chris, let's do your history lesson. What do you got for us for week 1 of the NFL season? Chris, oh, there you go.
Yeah, no, I'm here. No, tomorrow's Thursday Night Football, the kickoff game. They've been starting that since, I think, 2004.
Okay.
They had, the Super Bowl champ take on most likely their divisional rival. I think there's been a couple times where they had to move it to like a Wednesday due to something, that the president's doing, like a speech or something. But most of the time it's on the Thursday after Labor Day. And then next week we'll start your normal Thursday Night Football, which I think that started back in 2006 when I think the Colts faced the Falcons in the first game. So.
All right. So, good lesson there. So, let's get into it. Week 1 starts off with Dallas at the Eagles, a 8.5-point favorite. Kevin, your first pick ever for us. Well, who are you taking that first week?
I am taking the Philadelphia Eagles to take down the Cowboys in Week 1.
All right. Tim, who do you got?
Yeah, as much as I want to say the Cowboys, you're too much of an underdog, and you basically gave away your best player on defense. I think the Eagles step out on the right foot in defense of their Super Bowl. I've got the Eagles in that game.
All right, Chris, how about you? What do you got?
I unfortunately got the Eagles.
Yeah. If they wouldn't have made the trade, I think the line would have been closer, and I think I would have picked the Cowboys, but I'm going with the Eagles. J-Mac, you're probably not too far off that win total for them. So, all right, so let's go to the first Friday game to open up Week 1. We got the Kansas City Chiefs, 3.5-point favorites over the Chargers. Prime Oos, Tim, who do you got?
That game's in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I think, what is this, the first game that's played in Brazil?
Okay.
I don't have the Chiefs making the playoffs, but the thing is, the Chiefs play well when they play international games. Chargers not so much. I'm starting to wonder if this is going to be a year where if Patrick Mahomes can rebound, because as we saw last year, Patrick wasn't the typical top 10 quarterback that he's been. That being said, you lose Bosa on the defense for Los Angeles. God, I can't get that San Diego crap out of my head. I've got the Chiefs, but reluctantly, I have the Chiefs beating the Chargers.
All right, Chris, who do you have in that game?
I got the Chargers, or not the Chargers. I got the Chiefs winning that game.
You got the Chiefs, okay. Kevin, who do you have?
I do indeed agree with Chris there. I am taking the Chargers to win as well.
Okay, so you guys both took the Chargers. I thought you said Chiefs. I am with you guys on the bandwagon. I am going to take the Chargers over the Chiefs in that game. Next game is Tampa Bay, 1.5-point favorites over Atlanta. I am taking Atlanta in this one. So, Kevin, who do you have?
I as well have Atlanta winning this game.
All right, Tim?
Yeah, I've got Atlanta. I think Bijan's going to be the key to that game. You're going to see Penix in his first year as a full-time starter. I think it's going to be interesting to see what they can do against that defense in Tampa Bay. I've got the Falcons.
All right, Chris?
I got Tampa.
All right, got Tampa. All right, moving on. We got the Cincinnati Bengals, 5.5 points favorites over the 16 quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Kevin, who do you got in that game?
I have the Bengals winning that game, mostly because the Browns will not be able to finish the job.
All right. Chris?
I think we're all going to be in the same boat with this one. I got the Bengals.
All right, Tim?
Yeah, I've got the Bengals. I think as much as the Browns are a top 5 defense, their offense can't figure out directions to the field, even if you gave them a mat and started them at the 50-yard line. I've got the Bengals definitely in this game.
Yeah. I got the Bengals for a clean sweep, and I'm making that my lock of the week. I don't think there's any way, unless the bus does not make it to the field, that the Bengals do not win this game. So, next game, we got Miami versus the Colts. The Colts are favored by 1.5. Tim?
The Colts should be a underdog in this game because the Colts haven't won on week 1 since 2013. Okay. God, the whole problem is I like our defense. I like the weapons we have, but we're missing that huge key black hole that's sitting behind the center. Golly, I don't buck the trend now. I'm going to take the Dolphins, and I'm going to make that my lock of the week.
Picking the Dolphins and locking against his team. All right. Chris, who do you have? Chris, you there?
I'm as speechless as he is.
Yeah.
Were you
All
calling
right.
on me?
Yep, Chris. Yep.
Internet
We got
connection.
Miami versus the Colts.
I got the Colts in this one.
You got the Colts. All right. Kevin.
I have the Miami Dolphins taking this one.
All right, Miami. And J-Mac comments in that he doesn't even remember the last time the Colts won week 1, so they probably will lose. So, all right. So we got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the New England Patriots. Patriots are favored by 2.5. Kevin, who do you have in that game?
I have the Patriots taking that just because I am very high on Drake May.
Yeah, a lot of people are. Tim, who do you have?
Yeah, I'm with Kevin on this. I think Drake May is the second coming of Tony Eason. Yeah, most people don't even remember who Tony Eason is. He's the one that took the Patriots to the Super Bowl and against the 85 Bears.
Oh, okay.
I've not Tony Eason. That was Steve Grogan. But yeah, I've got the Patriots. I still think the Raiders are still 6 pieces of a chicken nugget meal away from a chicken nugget meal.
All right. Chris, who do you have for Raiders versus the Patriots? And Chris, you're on mute.
No, he's
okay.
got two. He's the big
Chris
B.
is webbing into 2 people here. So we'll get back to Chris. Looks like he's having some difficulties. We'll move on. Arizona. There's Chris. Chris, you're on mute. Raiders versus Patriots.
Who are the Patriots going up against? Sorry.
Raiders versus Patriots in New England.
Raiders.
All right, going with the Raiders. All right. So moving on, we got the Arizona Cardinals, 6.5 point favorites over the New Orleans Saints. I'll start. I'm going with Arizona. I think the Saints are kind of like the Raiders, just needing to find their pieces there. So, Tim, who do you have?
Holy smokes! I still am waiting for somebody to tell me why Spencer Rattler is a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think the scores. I think the Eagles score looks better than what the Cardinals are going to do. I think Kyler Murray just plays a game management game against the Saints, and I still think they win by 21. I've got the Cardinals in that game.
All right, Kevin, who do you have?
I as well have the Cardinals defeating the Saints just because the Saints they're just not that good. And that is going to be my lock of the week as well.
All right, lock it up. All right, Chris, who do you have?
I'll make this my lock of the week, but I'm going with the Saints.
All right, so somebody's going to lose their lock of the week that week or week 1, unless it's a tie. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. All right, so we'll move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, favored by 2.5 versus the New York Jets and 1 Justin Fields. Kevin, I know that's your guy, so who do you have?
This was the last game on here for me to pick for week 1 because it is both quarterbacks is what you would call a revenge game. Yep. Fields coming from, the Steelers and then, Rodgers coming from the Jets. I think the defense for the Jets is going to perform, and I think Fields is finally going to show that, he is a halfway decent quarterback that a lot of people say he's not. So I have the Jets taking down the Steelers in this one.
All right, Chris, who do you have?
I have the Steelers winning this one.
Going with Pittsburgh. Tim?
Wasn't it the last time these two faced? They played in a North Division game, but no, sorry, never mind. Forget I even thought of. I'm thinking, oh wow, the AFC North just moved the Jets into their division. But wow, way to go, Tim. 5:30's hitting you in the face. Yeah, yeah. I've got the Jets winning this game too. I think Justin Fields is going to be, and this is going to hurt a lot of Steeler fans. I think is going to be miles and away better than Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah, I got the Jets. I think Fields is going to show the Bears, going to show Pittsburgh, going to show the haters that, yes, he is a starting quarterback. He just needed his time, needed his team, and I think the Jets are going to fly high with Mr. Fields there, so week 1. So, all right, so let's get into the other New York team, the New York Giants, division rival game versus the Washington Commanders. Commanders are favored by 6.5. Chris, your division game here. What's up?
Yeah, so I got Washington in this one.
All right, Tim.
Yeah, I think it's new quarterback, new system. I think this is the march for Daboll to lose his job. This is the starting of it. I've got the Commanders in this game too.
Kevin.
I have the Commanders as well, and the reason is because Russell Wilson's going to continue to struggle.
Yeah. Is Russell Wilson the name starter there? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I got Washington. Not that it was going to make my pick any different if he wasn't, but, Wilson's probably a good guy to learn from. Dart's probably got a good mentor there, but they're still a mess around there. So I'm going Commanders. All right. We got the Carolina Panthers, somebody shocker team of the year, versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, another shocker team of the year. Jacksonville minus 3.5. Kevin, you got these guys making playoffs and deep runs. What do you have for this game?
I have Jacksonville defeating the Panthers, and I think it's just going to be the new rookies help push through. I think the rookies are going to shine in this game, and I think that's going to be the turning.
Oh, okay. Well, see, the internet didn't like Kevin's pick, so
Yep.
Tim,
It hurt.
who do you
It
have?
hurt. It hurt. He liked the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars to make the playoffs. Nope, you're done. Have a nice night. That was your audition. I think Trevor Lawrence here is finally gonna. I think Jacksonville is going to. I think Jacksonville's going to win this game, but I don't think it's because of Charlotte Flair playing quarterback. I think it's because of ETN and the running backs back there. Jacksonville's defense will keep them in this game. I got to take the Jaguars in this game.
All right, Chris.
I think I'm going to be the odd one out here and pick Carolina.
All right. I'm going Jacksonville, and I sure hope I want to see that kicker kick another one from 70 this year and break the record. I hope he does. I got Jacksonville. Chris, bring up J-Mac's comment there. Jacksonville wins 14-10. Neither quarterback throws a TD, so he's looking for some returns or some defensive touchdowns, or maybe 2 rushing touchdowns. I guess
a safety.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. That's a good call out there. So next we got the Tennessee Titans versus the Denver Broncos. Broncos are 8.5-point favorites. Tim, who you got there in that game?
Well, it's Cam Ward gets thrown in the deep end right away against Denver. That's going to be something else, but I think this is going to be Bo Nix doing what Bo Nix does. I really like Denver in this game, and I don't even think it's going to be close. And the thing that's going to hurt the Titans, it's going to be the fact is it's the defense of the Titans, not the offense of the Titans. I've got Denver in this game.
Chris, who do you have?
I got Tennessee in this game.
You got Tennessee, okay?
Yeah.
Kevin.
I have the Broncos winning this one. Bo Nix is going to continue to shine, and defense wins championships.
Yep.
Ooh.
I got Denver in this one. I think J-Max onto something. We're going to see like a Cam Ward, Bo Nix kind of rivalry. I think they're going to start it up kind of like Mahomes versus Allen back when they started up, or Mahomes versus Brady. I think we're going to kind of see that type of rivalry. So next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers. 2.5 points favorites over the rebuild of the Seattle Seahawks. I got the Niners in this one. Kevin, who do you have?
I have Seattle upsetting the Niners.
All right. Chris B. Bacon, who do you have?
You said San Francisco and Seattle?
Yep.
I got San Francisco.
Timmy.
I think this game depends on if Darnold is going to be the Vikings Darnold or the Jets Darnold. I think that's the thing. It's gonna make the difference in this game. San Francisco lost a lot of key pieces on defense, but it's still, I don't think it's going to make a difference. I've got the 49ers.
All right. Now I see J-Max commenting there. Seattle, because Purdy plays ugly. He just has to be a game manager. It's going to be interesting to see what they do without Debo there. So, Kevin getting a big shout out there from his buddy Jake. So,
How's it going, Jack?
Or Jack, I'm sorry. We got a Northern Division collision. We got the Lions, the Packers, which I am surprised this game's only a 1.5 point favorite for the Packers. So, Tim, who do you have?
Well, I'm not going to make friends and family proud of me. I'll make one family member proud of me right now. I think this game is going to be close. I think this game is going to overtime. I think this is going to be this is probably the game of the week. But Heather, I love you. I love you completely dearly. So this is your birthday present from like the 14th of August. I've got the Lions beating the Packers.
Oh, Chris.
I got the Packers beating the Lions by 1 score.
All right, Kevin, who do you have?
I have the Lions defeating the Packers just so they can ruin Parsons' debut.
I hope so.
Yeah, I got the Packers. You know, they're at home, and that's pretty much why. I just got them that they're at home. You know, and I think that Parsons will probably, if he does play, make a minimum impact. Of course, J-Mac, Green Bay fan himself, he's got a close one. I thought, you know, maybe he'd pick it up, but 21-20. So maybe they missed an extra point and the Lions go for 2 because we know how the Lions like to go for all those weird plays. So
yeah, I got 27-24 on that one.
Yeah. So we got the Houston Texans versus the LA Rams. Rams are favored by 3.5. Kevin, who do you have in that game?
I have the Rams winning mostly because of Texans O-line, and they're going to bring pressure to CJ Stroud.
Chris?
I got the Rams winning.
All right. And Tim?
So I'm going to be the odd man out, is what you're saying?
I guess so.
I guess, because I've got the Texans. I think CJ Stroud steps up from what his sophomore season looked like. Yeah, their offensive line. I don't know what the fire sale was for that, but I don't question coaches and GMs because I'm not one. Heck, I'm not even Mel Kiper at this point. But I've got the Texans.
I got the Rams. I'm kind of with Kevin and Chris. I think they're going to bring the pressure. I really hope CJ plays well and shows that it was a sophomore slump and he's back to his rookie year. But we'll see what happens. The Sunday night game, we got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. Bills are favored by a 1.5. Chris, who do you have in that game?
Let's see, Ravens and the Bills. I got Baltimore winning this one.
Tim?
Yeah, I think this is the second game of the week. I think this is the potential of being an AFC Championship precursor, foreshadowing, whatever. I've got the Ravens in this game, even though I think the Bills get revenge in the AFC Championship game. But I give this game to the Ravens.
All right, Kevin, who do you have?
I have the Bills winning this one.
Yep, I'm with Kevin. I got the Bills again. I think Tim's on it. It's going to be second game of the week, possible, going to the Super Bowl matchup or definitely a playoff matchup. I can see, but yeah, I got Buffalo. The Monday night game in Soldier Field. The Minnesota Vikings are 1.5-point favorites over the Bears. Tim, I'll let you start with this one.
Oh, no. Chris and I are going to take a step back and let you two have a conversation before we decide to jump off a cliff. So, hey, I'm going to be the host for the show for this game. Hey, Kevin, please tell us who you've picked in this game and why.
Let me see. I have the Bears taking this one on for several reasons. Ruining JJ's debut. He's going to witness the atmosphere there in Soldier Field. And I think the Bears O-line got their problems fixed. So I think Caleb Williams is down for a pretty good year. And I think I think it's going to be a close one though. I got 24-21 Chicago.
All right, Big B. Since this is you're the Minnesota Vikings fan, who are you? Why are you taking the Vikings and why?
This one, I was back and forth on this game. Even telling
you weren't. No, you weren't. You're lying.
Oh no, I was
back and forth.
Me and Kevin know a guy, and I was talking to him about it during his live on the Clapper during a break, or getting his break filled, and it's tough. It's a tough game. I mean, because one, Chicago is pretty much getting a new field in because they had like 5 concerts over the past week or so, so the field is damaged. I think it will be a close game. I think McCarthy's going to struggle his first game out. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think the Vikings defense is probably going to step up and win this game for them. But yeah, I got Minnesota winning it. It will not surprise me one bit. And the thing is if Minnesota loses, everybody will start talking about why can't Minnesota quarterbacks win in the primetime games? They're 0 whatever in primetime games and stuff like that. So, but
Jack is
14. He's on the debut.
Jack is all about the debut on this one. I kind of agree.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a close game. It's definitely going to be one I'm going to rush home to watch, and sit in my little front of the TV and just watching this game until something major happens. So, all right, guys. Chris, who do you have?
So Crispy, who do you got in this game?
I got Minnesota winning this game.
Well, any reason why? Just because?
No.
Just because? Was it a coin flip or was it?
No.
Did you put it in a randomizer?
Randomizer.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm gonna break Kevin's heart. He's the rookie, so I can break balls once a show on somebody. I've got the Vikings. It's all depending on basically what JJ McCarthy does because he's the question mark here. He's basically got 2/5 of a new line back there. I think the big mistake that Minnesota did was not to re-sign Cam Robinson. I think that was a huge mistake. You got Adam Thielen coming back. I think this is the close game. JJ McCarthy fails if he can't find his weapons. I think you've basically given him every weapon in the book. Basically, it's a San Francisco 49ers situation where you've given him weapons over weapons over weapons. Now, can he do better than Brock Purdy? Because if that's basically what we're looking at. I've got the Jaguars. Yeah. See, Kevin's already got in my head where I'm picking the Jaguars in a Vikings Bears game. I've got the Vikings in this game.
Yeah. And Tim, we talked earlier about this, and the key factor is going to be can McCarthy find the playmakers in the red zone? And
right, if JJ McCarthy, the thing is, That's the
always
whole
disappears out.
problem, because that's the problem with the Vikings. It's you have this major weapon in Jefferson, and you forget that he plays in the red zone like everybody else, and it's crazy. We talked about that earlier. I wasn't sure if we talked about that backstage before Rankum this morning for you. Unless we talked about that at the beginning, I can't quite remember. Yeah, you got to use your weapons. You've got perfect weapons for a young quarterback like that. I think you need to find them. If you don't find them, you're gonna have a problem.
Yep. So, all right. So let's get into a little fantasy matchup because C2C, we have our own league. Right off the bat, the rookie faces the Prime Oos. So what do you guys want to do? A little trash talking there?
He's the rookie. They do little rookie talent shows. So tell us how. Cut a pro. You're a wrestling guy. I'll throw it out there. Cut a promo for your team to come out and tell me how you're gonna stand pound up my ass for this week in fantasy football.
Well, I will admit it's going to be kind of hard when freaking Aaron Jones is your number 2 running back, when he's going to split carries. I looked at my team and I have plenty of receiver depth in a PPR league. My receivers are stacked. My quarterbacks are mid. It didn't help that I was doing an in-person draft at the same time we did your guys' draft. I even told Brandon, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to do it, and then I just totally forgot about it because I was so invested into my in-person draft. But it's I can't really talk crap because I didn't even draft my own team. So, but as of right now, if we're going by projections, which really means not a damn thing, I projected to win by, I think, 2 points.
2.11.
Yeah, so and it was only that as of right before the show. I just looked at it before the show. So
yeah.
I did make a move. I think I picked up he was either a tight end or a quarterback. And I started them, and that's what made the difference. But I think I have Kyler Murray in that league. I have to look at my team again, but I'm high on Kyler Murray this year. So I'm hoping he's as good as I'm expecting, because if he is, that's gonna be the make or break for me. Because if he plays well, then I think my team has somewhat of a chance. If I can get a trade in some point in this season, because my running backs are rough. They're bad.
Okay.
It's a rough one, but it's football season. I can't wait. So I'm here. I'm competitive. So when it comes to fantasy football, I'm in like 30 leagues. So I'm ready to go.
Wow. So Crispy Bacon, your first matchup is against the Primetime Blitz.
Yeah.
What's he facing himself?
What's that?
What's he doing? Facing himself?
Pretty much. That is one of our control teams. So the most points will predict. So, Chris, you do have to change that and put Mahomes in there because he's got projected more points than Daniels. So, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
I am facing Tim's brother Ryan. I was projected to beat him by about 8 points. So we'll see how that goes. The rest of our teams here, let's see who else we have. We got Sarge versus Dragon Viper. Sarge is predicted to win that one by 10. Justin, Messerow's youngest boy, is predicted to beat the other computer team, the Catapult Bombers, that I control. They were projected to beat Justin's team pretty badly. That's the big one. And then we got J Max Blitz Happy versus mess around and find out, and Blitz Happy's supposed to take that one by 5 points. So we got that all taken care of. So right now, guys, Tim, give us a take week one. What are you looking to see? I mean,
as much as my lock is the Colts losing to the Dolphins, I'd like to see us win a week one game. Outside of that, we've got 2 great games that I think a lot of the country is going to be watching with the Lions and the Packers and the Bills and the Ravens. I think I'm just excited. We're sitting on Christmas Eve. For me, it's Christmas Day because the first game is tonight. For me, tomorrow for most of you guys. I'm excited. It's been a long time coming since we basically were out of the playoffs week 16 last year. So I've been looking forward for week one to get back and smashing some heads and getting to smack talk a little bit of fantasy football with you three. Excited, happy, ready. Nipples are hard, ready to go. I'm just waiting for it. I came out with a wife beater because I woke up, rolled out of bed and went, yep. Today is the day. Don't need steroids. When today's week one of the NFL season, I'm ready. Let's just get. As soon as we know it, next week is going to be the Super Bowl. This is where it's going to be fun. This is the fun time for us. This is the day we wait for. This is exactly what we've been looking for. I'm excited. I'm pumped. There's more things I can say, but we're not on late enough and.
All right, Chris, pull up J-Mac's comment for Tim there. So, J-Mac said, Tim, you were still in your 30s last time Colts won a week one game.
Hold on, let me figure that one out. It was.
Think about it, Chris. What is something you're looking forward to in the week one?
Oh no, just being back with football week one, start the NFL season. It's going to be a fun one. I think they said that. The last time these two teams faced in Philadelphia was like 50 years ago, but the last time these two met in week one overall, I think it was 2000 in the Pickle Juice game down in Texas Stadium.
All right, Kevin, the rookie, what do you think? What are you looking forward to outside that game, but something you're looking forward to in week one?
Well, before I decide to say that, I just fact-checked this. The Colts are 0-9 their last week one games. They have not won week one since at least before 2015.
2013. Yeah, 2013 was the last time we won. Yep. It's 12 years.
I just looked it up. It got the last 10 years, and they're 0-9-1. So, but 2 things that I'm looking forward to is starting the season off 1-0 in fantasy football. That's a for sure. We're going to start 1-0 there. And then I'm also looking forward to my personal thing. I think the Bears-Vikings is the game of the week. You got JJ's debut, and you have Caleb Williams year 2 here. So I really think that's game of the week. I mean, it's prime time, and they're only going to put, the big games on those days. So, we're gonna go. We're gonna be 2-0 by next meeting. We're gonna have Bears will be 1-0. I'll be 1-0 in fantasy, and we'll go from there.
All right. Yeah, I mean, outside the Monday night game, because like you said, Kevin, you got JJ's start. You got year 2 of Caleb, which listening to the Bears' new coach talk, they kind of tweaked him and kind of rebuilt him and had him relearn the position a little bit. So that'll be kind of interesting there to see. I'm kind of intrigued with the Cincinnati Cleveland game. Just the fact they don't know what's going on with quarterback there, and that's mainly why is just to see what happens with that quarterback group and how many possibly could play that game. I mean, I know they're going to start with Flacco, but could it end up being Shedeur Sanders at the end of the game or Gabriel? So,
Uncle Rico. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Made up
Rico.
a guy out of the crowd or something. So, with that being said, guys, week one's in the books for us. It starts in a few hours. On our end, let's go around your final thoughts. Chris, your final thoughts.
Thanks everyone for watching. Tune in. Week one is here. NFL season's here, and should be a fun ride.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Keep watching C2C. Check out all of our other shows. I'm excited. I think my wish for week one has been kind of stated for the last 2.5 minute basic diatribe and onto the thing that I've done. I think I'm just ready. Let's get this started. Let's just go.
All right. The rookie Kevin, your final thoughts on your first show here at C2C and Primetime Blitz.
Well, I enjoyed every minute of it. I love talking football, basketball, any sport possible. I just love, being part of it. I also love talking fantasy football. That's, all my friends around me, they know that. The only other thing I could say is if I don't make it next week, it's because I'm seeking therapy for the Bears still being terrible.
No, he's going to be seeking therapy because he's getting his butt whooped. Because I'm gonna do you a favor. Matter of fact, I quote it right now. I will do you a favor. I will take Justin Herbert off my starting lineup and start Daniel Jones.
You're that confident, huh?
Yeah, so final thoughts for me is week one's here. Like Tim keeps referring to as Christmas Eve for most of us are sport fanatics.
I want everybody to see this.
I'm excited for it. It's always good to not just with you guys, but trash talk people at work and stuff like that. And he did it. He's pulling the trigger. He's gonna put Danny Dimes in. So we'll hear that one. But with that being said, thanks for everybody jumping on, commenting. Keep checking us out all week. We got Between the Ropes on Monday. We got C2C Rank 'em in the mornings on Wednesday. Of course, Primetime Blitz, and there's other shows in the works. So, with that being said, we'll see y'all next week for week 2 of Primetime Blitz. Have a good one.